The CEO stood frozen outside the supply closet, his hand hovering inches from the rusted door handle. He hadn't expected to find anyone here, especially not curled up on a thin blanket, arms wrapped around a tattered backpack like it held his whole life. In that dimly lit space filled with the scent of bleach and old paper towels, lay a janitor, middle-aged, exhausted, and fast asleep on the cold tile floor. The CEO's heart clenched. This wasn't just someone trying to catch a break during a shift. This man was living here. And no one knew. No one had noticed. But the CEO was about to. Before we dive into this emotional journey of redemption, secrets, and second chances, if you believe in kindness, dignity for every worker, and the power of humanity to surprise us, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Rapple of Hope. Your support helps us tell stories that touch hearts and open eyes. The story began weeks earlier, long before the CEO ever opened that closet door. Nathaniel Royce, 52, founder of Roycetech Industries, was a man with everything, on paper. $1 billion company. 2 luxury homes. Investors hanging on his every word. But lately, something felt off. His board praised quarterly profits, but HR complaints were on the rise. Employees left without explanation. And something about the company's heart, its culture, felt lost. So Nathaniel did what no one expected. He shaved his clean-cut beard, dyed his hair gray, put on thick, smudged glasses, and traded his tailored suits for thrift store khakis and janitor blues. Under the alias Joe Carter, he applied for a custodial job at one of his own warehouses, a 24/7 fulfillment center located in a working-class neighborhood he hadn't stepped foot in since he was a young man dreaming big. From the moment he stepped in as Joe, the illusion became real. The clatter of forklifts, the endless buzz of barcode scanners, the ache in his back after hours of mopping, he felt it all. But what struck him most wasn't the work. It was the people. The quiet way workers swallowed their exhaustion. The forced smiles. The stories shared in whispers over vending machine lunches. And among them, always working quietly, never joining in much, was the night janitor, Marvin Gray. Marvin was in his early 60s, rail-thin, with tired eyes and a limp that made every step look painful. But he never complained. Not once. Every floor he cleaned sparkled. Every trash bin was emptied with care. He arrived before everyone else and left long after the lights dimmed. Yet no one seemed to see him. Until the night Nathaniel stayed late to finish scrubbing the break room floor. He noticed Marvin disappear for a long stretch. Curious, he followed, quietly. Past the restrooms, down the dim service hallway. And then Marvin slipped into the old storage closet. The door clicked shut. Nathaniel waited a while, then slowly turned the knob. What he saw changed him. A blanket. A crushed pillow. A stack of canned food. A dented thermos. A folded photo of a woman and 2 young girls. And Marvin, curled on the floor, holding the photo like it was air. Nathaniel closed the door without waking him. For the first time in years, the CEO's eyes filled with tears. The next day, Nathaniel couldn't focus. All he could think about was Marvin. Why was he sleeping at work? Did he have no home? And why hadn't anyone noticed? This man wasn't just surviving, he was suffering silently. Nathaniel decided to dig deeper. Over the next few days, he gently began talking to Marvin during breaks, offering coffee, asking harmless questions. Bit by bit, Marvin opened up. He used to be a schoolteacher. Taught history for over 20 years. Lost his wife to cancer. Lost his home a year later. Couldn't keep up with bills on a retired teacher's pension. His daughters? Grown, but struggling too. He didn't want to burden them. So he kept working. A man's hands should stay useful, Marvin said with a sad smile. As long as they can hold a mop, I got purpose. Nathaniel listened in silence. But it wasn't just Marvin's humility that struck him. It was how the company had failed to see him. How no one, not managers, not HR, not team leads, had noticed or asked. In their drive for efficiency and profit, they had forgotten the people. Nathaniel ended his undercover stint early. A week later, he returned to the warehouse, not as Joe the janitor, but as Mr. Royce, CEO. When he walked through the entrance in a sharp black suit, jaws dropped. Whispers spread like wildfire. Some employees looked nervous. Others curious. But Marvin just kept cleaning. Until the CEO walked up to him and said, in front of everyone, "Mr. Marvin Gray, would you come with me?" They sat in a quiet conference room. Marvin looked confused. "Sir, if this is about me being in the closet." Nathaniel raised a hand. "It's about far more than that." And then he made an offer no one saw coming. He didn't just offer Marvin housing. He gave him a full-time salaried position in the company's training department, where he would mentor young recruits and teach professionalism and pride in every task, from sweeping a floor to leading a team. Marvin's hands trembled. "Why me?" "Because we need your kind of heart," Nathaniel said. "And because I was Joe." Marvin froze. And then, slowly, a tear rolled down his weathered cheek. But that wasn't all. Nathaniel launched a company-wide initiative called Project Dignity. Every employee, from warehouse pickers to top execs, was required to spend 1 week shadowing a department different from their own. HR walked the floor. Engineers packed boxes. Executives served in the cafeteria. And in that process, something magical happened: empathy. Employee satisfaction soared. Resignation rates dropped. A sense of community bloomed. And it all started with a man no one saw, sleeping quietly in a supply closet, holding onto a photo of the family he loved and the dignity he refused to lose. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of someone who works silently, loves deeply, or never gives up even when the world stops noticing them, please like, comment, and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to Rapple of Hope, where we shine light on the overlooked and celebrate the unseen heroes among us. Speech balloon comment below: have you ever met someone like Marvin, quiet, humble, but extraordinary? We want to hear your story. Because sometimes, the greatest changes begin in the smallest, quietest corners, and one compassionate act can ripple into hope.